for the latest, let's cross live to SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. A very good afternoon, Sophie. Thanks very much for joining us. So how has the voting station situation been going? Did they open on time? And it was interesting to see from your insert there that people are quite keenly queuing.
Yes, indeed, Nompu. We woke up very early today and we were at the polling station in Windhoek. Here in Namibia before 7, we saw long queues. And also when we were driving around town now, we saw people still waiting patiently to cast their ballots. And we spoke to some of them in the morning, as you heard in that insert. It looks like Namibians are really serious about democracy and also using this opportunity to make their voices heard, because they have issues that they would want the new administration and those who will be in parliament to attend to. The issue that is very, very critical, like in many other countries, is the issue of the young people. When we look at the information on our disposal, is that you have the voters' roll that's dominated by young people. Almost 70% are young people. And also the population here is very young. You saw on the queues, those young people waiting patiently and hoping that whatever the decision they take in terms of voting, it will result in a way that they will get a better service in future. And now we are at a polling station called Soweto Market Polling Station. This township here is called Soweto. And when we came in, I observed how clean the township is, but also how patient Namibians are. As you can see behind me, that voting is continuing at this polling station and people are waiting. You know, they bring camp chairs, they bring umbrellas, they bring water. You can see that it's not a question of, by the way, this was properly planned in terms of Namibians taking a decision that on this day they will be here. Another issue that we observed, we're trying to get some gadgets. As you know that as journalists, at some point in time, you make those buying at an 11th hour, you need some technology that will assist you. We struggle to find a shop where we can buy gadgets because we are told it is a law. During elections, there is no business operation except the food and the filling station, your necessities. But fortunately, we got helped in terms of getting what we wanted. But it speaks to the commitment in this country. Last night, again, I took a drive at night just to see Namibia and look at security and look at how Namibians conducted themselves. On the eve of elections, everybody was talking about no alcohol sale tomorrow. So it's serious business during elections. But we had some people in other areas saying that ballot papers arrived late, but we haven't seen a huge incident that can point to a promotion. The other issue that we observed with my colleague there from Channel Africa was that the observers are not visible, but fortunately, you don't need much intervention. And I think we'll continue to visit different polling stations in the afternoon to see what's happening, particularly in town. We want to go to a university or a university of technology to see young people. We are told that the queues are very, very long. And that's the situation in Namibia. But I think it's a good story to tell in terms of commitment to vote or to ensure that you are a responsible citizen here in Namibia.
Indeed, Sophie. I just want to ask you one last question, given the background that you were giving us about how most of the people who are sort of eligible to vote are actually young people. And given that, you know, we do tend to have that situation where the older generation just vote for, you know, incumbent movements just because, you know, of that romanticism, the liberation movements and so on. Does that then mean that SWAPO is going to be in, you know, for possibly a surprise, because obviously young people are not wedded to liberation movements in the way that older people are?
It's early to tell, because when people talk about change, some are saying we want change, but we know SWAPO can bring that change. Others are saying, we want change, we want new leadership. And therefore, it's very difficult. The word change is common for both, for SWAPO and against SWAPO. And therefore, it's very difficult to predict. And I think the message here is that Africans on the African continent are tired of being abused and not receiving what they should receive as citizens of the continent. So it's not a matter of who is able to do that. It's a question of do it for us. This is what we deserve. And whoever gets a nod will have to respond to that question. For example, here, an economics law, this one, the issue of gas and oil and hydrogen and other minerals such as diamonds. People are saying, let's beneficiate here. Let's process this oil and gas here. They must go out fully finished product so that the value chain gets better rather than sending these commodities raw as they are. And when they come back, they are so expensive. And that was what was also a message from Botswana, where you have diamonds. The same message is being, it's very loud in South Africa with all the mines in the DRC. Africans are tired, Nompu. Africans are saying, this is our continent, this is our land, this are our minerals, we must benefit. We cannot continue to develop Europe and America and other regions such as Asia when we are underdeveloped, which points to even the issue of electricity. You know that you go to Europe, Europe has got electricity, we are struggling here. But some of the products, they get them from here, you know, the nuclear products, and also technology, the advancement of technology in these regions. But they get these products that are manufacturing technology on our continent, cobalt in the DRC. So I think any leader who is under the illusion that it's business as usual, he can enrich himself, he can enrich his family, he can be corrupt, those days are gone now.
All right. Sophie Mokoena, thank you so much for that report. Sophie Mokoena, she is our international news editor.